Welcome, Risers. It's that time once again for the Agent Rise podcast. I'm your co-host, Neil Mathweg, joined by Mindi, Kesnick. And today we continue our conversation about finding listings. We're in a very challenging market. And with that, we must be working with those that are in the must-move category. We gave you a start of all of this last week. And so if you missed that episode, make sure you go back and listen to that. Where last week we shared a lot about your sphere of influence, the people that you already know. They may not be moving, but they know people that are moving. And one of those examples is somebody that is a senior citizen and may need to be downsized, may have this this large home, and then now maybe they're an empty nester and they need to downsize. Maybe they need to get all on one floor. There's different reasons for people to need to move. And so gearing up to be able to serve those seniors is something that we've found a lot of success in and an area that we're niching in. And so we're going to talk about that today, how to work with seniors and how to best serve them. And Mindy, you've been doing this and you've had some breakthrough moments with it. And so we want to uncover all of that today.
Yeah, talk about breakthrough moments. I think the biggest and best breakthrough that I've had in the recent past was around this niche of senior living. And honestly, it was very simple. I think when I learned about the senior living niche and idea, and we started kind of talking about this a year or so ago, I got excited and I looked at it as an opportunity to get listings. And the key word there is I looked at it as an opportunity to get. And my recent aha moment around this was really when I realized what an opportunity this is to give. And, we all know that giving is better than receiving. But as I've worked with a senior living facility in my area over the last probably year or maybe even a little over a year, what I have realized over that time is the relationships that I've built with the people that are in these facilities, taking care of these people day in and day out and trying to make their living experience the very best that they can at this really kind of fragile time of their lives. I mean, a lot of these seniors they're not happy to be there. They know that this is their final living quarters. They've had to give up so much to be there. It's expensive. And so you start developing these relationships with these people that work there, and they are just pouring out their hearts every day. And you get to partner with them and come alongside and just offer value. And I got to see this last year, right around the holidays. I had this great idea. I'm like, how can I provide value? How can I provide value so that I can get back, right? Like I was looking at it from like, how can I get them to give me listings, right? And so I had this idea of coming in with my team and we were going to wrap Christmas gifts for the seniors. Cause if, like they can't all go out to the store and buy wrapping paper and whatever. So the senior living facility loved it. They were like, yes, this is a great idea. So me and my team, one of my team members, we came in, we brought the wrapping paper. Seniors started flooding in. It was great. It was a really well-received activity. Well, all of a sudden, one of the residents starts playing a piano right outside the room we were in. And he starts playing these beautiful Christmas songs. And all of a sudden, my team member that's there wrapping gifts with me gets up and joins him at the piano. Little did I know that Dina was a classically trained musician, and she started singing Christmas carols with this gentleman. And what I learned later, because of course we took this opportunity to share on social media that we're doing this gift wrapping thing and that it turned into this beautiful moment at the senior living facility. And I had a friend reach out to me and say, I know that man. He is one of our old neighbors. He and his wife sold their house in hopes they were planning on moving down to Florida, of course, because that's where all of us Wisconsinites go when we're sick of the weather. And unfortunately, his wife at about that same time came down with some cardiac disease and needed open heart surgery. And so he was really he was sad. Like this was a really sad time for him. And Dana swooped in and just created this wonderful, beautiful memory. And it was just this like moment where I'm like, I am not here to get anything. Like this senior living niche is a really amazing opportunity for me to give my time back and serve these people. And so, since then, I now, because of this day that we spent at the senior living facility, I've gotten to know some of the other activities directors. And last week, one of them called me to see if I would come in and sign up to call out bingo a couple nights or a couple of afternoons in February. And I'm like, absolutely. Like, that sounds like such a fun thing to do. And, and here's the thing, I would be willing to bet that I will end up seeing some reward to this. My business will end up seeing some sort of gain from these relationships, but it's now coming from a place of like, I'm not looking at it as like, what can I do to get something from them? I'm just looking at what can I do to serve this community, my community, and really pour into. And that's what we should be setting ourselves up as real estate agents. Like these professionals within a community that are there to give back to the community. And once I had that shift in mindset around it, it made it a lot more fun, honestly, to think about this and to get creative about it and come up with ideas on how I want to participate in this relationship.
That's beautiful. And to go with that and working with seniors, the area that you want to first begin, I think, is building that team, building those referral partners. It's the estate planning attorney for your people. If you can get an attorney that's on call that can take 15 minutes with somebody and guide them in the right direction, offer them the legal advice that they need in that moment, and give them some direction and not send them a big bill, right? So we need an attorney on board that can help with that. A CPA would be great to have on board. You're going to want your handyman. You're going to want your estate trash out company and auctioneer, estate sales. You're going to want your handyman around the property, lawn maintenance, snow removal. Make the whole list. And here's the thing: is all of these referral partners become people that are going to serve with you to be able to help these seniors. And that the referral partners also send you business as well, because you reach out to them and say, hey, I'm working with a lot of seniors, and with that, I want the team available to be able to help with this. Would you be able to help us? And often they have referrals for you as well. So it becomes a referral partnership in a way, but it's your team so that you can go and serve and help these seniors that need it so badly.
Well, and one of the really big benefits of developing these relationships with, the activities directors or whoever it is that you're in communication with at the senior living facility is they know there are a lot of times in the throes with the people who are getting all of these questions from family members and all of those people. So they can really help you figure out specifically for each facility what's needed, who's needed, what other relationships can you form a bridge to. And what I tell my team all the time is it's all about our engagements. And so all of these conversations that you get to have and these things that you get to learn and these questions you get to ask, they're all opportunities to increase your engagements. And anytime we're increasing our engagements, we're increasing our business. We're growing our business. If you're not sure what team members you need to build, ask the senior living facilities. Say, I'm working on building this team around me, and I'd love to know who would it be most helpful if I tried to include on my team to serve your answer your questions, because they don't want to be fielding all of the questions around like, well, how do I deal with selling my house? How do I deal with, I have all of these things that are worth money. What do I do with them? They don't, that's not their specialty. That's not what they want to be really coaching the residents through. They would love to have a team leader, which is you, to go to and say, can you field all of these questions? They would love to have that handoff. So the more you can just build up those relationships, the more it's really going to serve them, and it's going to ultimately serve you and your business as well. Our clients are getting older, right?
Yep. That's it. That's it. And we've already mentioned, like, you're building this referral partner team, and we've mentioned that you begin to form some relationships with senior living facilities. In addition to senior living facilities, some others that you want to be networking with and some other ideas to get in front of seniors. One is to look at all of the different people and industries that serve seniors. So not only is it the senior living facilities, but it's the relocation or the placement specialists. Moving Mom is a popular company. They specialize in helping seniors move. You also are going to have connections with transportation, those that lead transportation for seniors. I always looked at like, where did the taxis go? Where did the taxi industry go once Uber came along, right? Well, all of those taxis are now into senior transportation. And so you'll see that anybody that or any companies that were in that, they're now really specializing in senior transportation. So networking with them is very beneficial. And then there's often, senior events, right sizing and downsizing events. There's just expos, senior expos. Some of those even turn into masterminds, into groups of serving and working together with seniors. Community centers is another place where you can volunteer and be involved in. There's a list of these different areas where, again, I like how you said it, Minnie, it's not to get listings, it's to go there and give. And as a result, the byproduct is you earn their business and their trust, and eventually you'll gain some business there. But it's a long game, is it not? It's a long game, and it's a lot of relationship building. But those are some different areas that you can look to grow this niche. Because I think too, the other question we get a lot around the senior niche is, do I need the senior designation? Do I need all of those? I recommend it. I recommend it because you need the education. And the reason that you're niching in seniors is to stand apart from the other agents. And the other agents just don't get it, right? And when you go through learning all of the things that you need to know to be able to best serve seniors, you begin to get it. And with that, you're going to be better at serving. So I recommend it, not from a marketing standpoint, but for a getting better standpoint, for making you a better agent and being able to serve better.
Yeah, the byproduct of business is something that I've always seen when I've put my efforts into relationship building. And that is maybe one of my favorite things about this career is, if you focus on relationship building, whether it's in the senior niche or outside of the senior niche, that that will always be a byproduct is more business. And what a beautiful model. And it's just like I said, we are in careers that give us the opportunity to give back to our communities. We're looked at as a community leader. And so this is just a really great opportunity to step into that role. And I guarantee that any effort you put into the senior living niche as the years go by and as more and more of that big generation, it becomes seniors and becomes seniors that need assisted living, you're going to be glad that you started when you did, even if it's a long game. We
That's
need
it.
long games just like we need short games.
That's right. That's right. And that's the thing with this one is you think you get this in with the senior living facility and all of a sudden the listings are just going to start pouring out. And it just doesn't happen that way. You got to build relationships. There's opportunities there. We're also seeing a lot of seniors are selling their homes to their adult children. And so there's a lot of, I know when it happened in my family, my parents sold our house, my parents' home to my sister. And you're seeing more and more of that, which, means that not everybody needs to sell their home. And so it's building these relationships, it's serving, it's helping them, it's being there as a resource for them. I think sometimes they need our young energy, right? Like they need a Mindy in their world that can help them, that can problem solve. And they're also going through a ton of emotions, right? You're letting go of everything that you know and you're going from the known to the unknown, and it's everything. And then we've got us youngins here just saying, "Oh, just let go and downsize and it's all good." But we really got to care about that and really take it slow and really help them navigate through that, not only the physical moving portion of it, but also the mental portion of it.
Yeah, and that brings up another good point. We have had some really good success on our team by going in and talking to groups at senior facilities about downsizing and about the emotional side of that and giving them different tips and tricks and resources that can help them through that portion. So again, just giving back, giving you an opportunity to kind of get in front of a room full of people and just help them to wrap their heads around it and ask questions. When I've done that, I've had residents in the room that they're already living here, but they've got storage unit after storage unit of stuff that they're like, that they know that they have to still go through, they still have to deal with, but they don't know how. They don't know the first step to decluttering. Decluttering is a very emotional, psychological challenge for everybody. I mean, even if you're not like a hoarder, we like our brains are wired so that we are only able to give up so much of our belongings in one sitting. So I don't know, if you've ever, you probably can attest to this because you have a storage unit back in Wisconsin. Because it's like you can give up so much, but it's at some point like your brain is like, it can't do it anymore. So you have to kind of stop, take some time off, and come back to it. And if you don't know that, it can really feel like a really overwhelming task to go through your whole entire house from, 40 years worth of belongings and memories and all that stuff. So there's opportunities around that too, around just educating and helping serve that way too. If, a lunch and learn or something like that is something you're interested for. And my experience is, again, those activities directors are more than happy to have you come in and just take a little bit of load off of them. And again, like any value that you can provide them is really going to be also helpful to position you in a place to be the first person they think of when somebody says, "Hey, I need to sell my house in order to move into this facility."
Definitely. And I'm telling you, you definitely have all the feels when you're letting go of stuff. I know when we went full-time RVing, we got rid of about 90% of our belongings. We kept one 10 by 20 storage unit back in Wisconsin full of everything that we wanted to keep and that we couldn't let go of. Today, I couldn't even tell you what's in there. I mean, it really like it was such an interesting time, right? Like to be able to let go of all of that. I felt like I was having my own estate sale. I felt like I was living out as if I was no longer on earth and I was running my own estate sale when we were liquidating and selling everything before we went RVing. And it was a weird feeling. And I can't imagine, I was in a good place, right? I was excited to go RVing, so it was easy for me to let go. I can only imagine if you're not in a good place, how hard it would be to let go. And that's the number one challenge, I think, for seniors. And we have to address that and help them. And that's our job as an agent.
Yeah. And if you're looking for a resource around that, Etsy has some really great senior living resources that you can download and brand yourself. And then what I did is I took one of the resources and I just made slides out of the content that was in there. And I turned that into a little lunch and learn talk. So there's lots of resources out there that you can tap into and just to, kind of help you kind of figure this out so you don't have to recreate the wheel.
And with this serving seniors, there is much more to go with this. And we have all of those details inside of Agent Rise. If you're interested in joining Agent Rise, you can go to agentrisecoaching.com and book a discovery call today and see if this is the right niche for you and something that we could help you with. Thanks so much for listening to the Agent Rise podcast. And like always, remember to be the reason somebody smiles today.